morning, everyone. This is Anthony, Wall Street Trader. It's 8:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 1st, 2021, Tuesday. So let's go straight into the famous disclaimer. This is not financial advice and intended only for educational purposes. If you want to know my intraday updates and what I'm thinking in terms of my next entry point, and I will have one today, on RLC, as well as major market movements where you should be aware of, you can click on that Twitter link below. It will give you access to subscribe to my tweets. Anyway, subscribe button below if you want to stay up to date with my latest videos. I do 2 other ones a day, one on Newscypher and one on the graph. Anyway, but we're talking about RLC or iExec. So currently I'm 40% in, average cost basis, if I did the math off the top of my head, 543 maybe. So let's just take a step back on where I think we're headed. So I don't think that these scenarios will actually play out anymore. So I may have to X these out, and I am thinking through my next entry point. And why? Well, because, we've had some very significant rally on the RLCBTC pair. But before we get into that right now, let's just take a look at the US dollar version of RLC. And we're continuing to respect this green line that has been going on since back here, which is almost like 9 months ago. So what had been a line of resistance throughout that period of time, it has now become a line of support. So it's very encouraging to see this proper bounce. It's a fairly healthy bounce off the trend line, and why I think we might go further up and maybe a little more rapidly than we have been. Let's take a look at the underlying factors. Why? Because we know that RLC US dollar is equal to the benchmark multiplied by the strength of RLC relative to Bitcoin. If I'm bullish on Bitcoin, which I am, and I'm bullish on RLC strength to Bitcoin, which I also am, this must go up. There's no other way about it. These two fundamentally drive this price. It's complete mathematics, and it's a strict rule that is that complies in every which way, right? Look at the math here already. So Bitcoin down 2.8, almost 3%, and RLCBTC is up 7%. So the difference is around 4%, and that makes sense from our equation. So we bounced off this line in the dollar. Now let's go over to Bitcoin. I think we're still going to bounce off this line, and again, this line also from back in October, completely respecting the line, bouncing off. I think we're in a proper consolidation pattern right here. Very similar to what we saw around here. I think we're going to see the same thing here, and I think we're going to play out to the upside. This also looks like a W pattern, which some of you may already be familiar with. But more compelling to me than Bitcoin for RLC's case is this. If you look at this line here, you can see we've touched this line a few times, even more deeper in here. Then we bounced off it, but pretty healthy move. And I think it has to do with the fact that Bitcoin being more stable, even though it's 36,000, I think it should be higher, and I think it will be higher. I think we're going to start to see this thing trek up. Now, what we want to see is not just to trek up. We want to break through this green line up here. This is what I consider to be the resistance line for the RLC Bitcoin pair, or the strength of RLC to Bitcoin. So as this continues on, I anticipate that over the next few days, we're going to resolve somewhere. Now, it's not to say that we will definitely break through it, because we have to figure out which one's the stronger line. I usually tend to think the longer line is generally more stronger than the shorter term line, but trends are made to be broken as well as supported. So we have to see how this plays out over the next few days. I think if we have a stable Bitcoin and a subtly rising or subtly dropping Bitcoin that continues to respect the line that we see on the Bitcoin pair, the Bitcoin US dollar chart, I think, and this is Bitcoin here, I think we're in good shape. So we'll see how it plays out, but very good rally on the RLC Bitcoin pair. I'm very excited to see what's been happening since last night. And we seem to be pivoting at this point to the upside. So anyway, I'm out. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. Subscribe to Twitter if you want to see my next entry point. I'll be posting that out on Twitter first today. Talk soon.